All right, so in this lesson, I wanted to kind of do something just a little different and talk about why you should know scales and why you should know, for one, the pentatonic scale. You've probably heard that term thrown around. So this lesson is geared towards the beginner guitar player that wants to learn just a little bit more about scales, about theory, and namely the pentatonic scale. So, the reason you should know this scale is it's just really a great scale to know to improvise with, to make up solos or what have you. So, like, say I had a song that was in the key of A minor that was like, um, now a lot of songs have that A minor to G to F kind of feel. Let's see, what do we got? All Along the Watchtower. I think there's a song called Talking Bodies that has it. It's a newer song. There's Stairway to Heaven has it. Led Zeppelin. There's tons of songs have this. But anyway, so if I know my A pentatonic scale, I can make up a solo for this progression. So of course there's variations to the scale, but that's a very common way to play it, is just 2 notes per string. So let's go ahead and I'll show you some just really basic way to play this scale. So let's go ahead and look at it. So you're going to take your index finger and you're going to set it on the 5th fret of the low E string. Alright, so that's an A note on the 5th fret of the low E there. So that's giving you an A note as the root note of the scale. And so we're starting the scale on the lowest note and moving up. So the word pentatonic, has the word pent in it, which is 5. So it's, as you guessed, a 5-note scale. So the second note of this A pentatonic scale is, if you add your pinky, some people like to use their ring finger. You go up to the 8th fret, but I usually tend to use my pinky. I don't know why, but some people like to reach up there like that. So you can just pluck the 5th fret of the E and then the 8th fret of the E, and that gives you the first 2 notes of the A pentatonic. So now your index finger is going to move down to the 5th fret of the A string. Alright, so that's the 3rd note of the pentatonic. Now your ring finger goes to 7th fret, and that's the 4th note of the pentatonic. Now your index finger goes to the 5th fret of the D, so that there is the 5th note of the pentatonic scale, right? The A pentatonic scale. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Now, if we add our pinky here, our ring finger here on that 7th fret of the D string, that brings us back to the root note. So from here up the rest of the strings, we're just repeating the same 5 notes again. So, but before we continue up to the higher notes, let me just show you, with those 6 notes. I mean, it's 6 notes total because these notes are both A's. They're just an octave apart. I'll show you. We'll do a little solo with that. So we've got. Alright, so as you can see, it's you're already taking a little solo just on those 3 strings, just with those 5 or 6 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then back to the root. So continuing up the scale, now this is where it gets, I think, a little harder to kind of grasp, but we'll try it anyway. So you start here on the 7th fret of the D, so that is an A note. It's just an octave higher than this one. So now your index finger is going to go here to the 5th fret of the G, okay? So you got 1, 2, okay, so 2nd note. All right, now ring finger goes to 7th fret of the G. Okay, so that's your 3rd note. 1, 2, 3. Okay, now your index finger is going to go to the 5th fret of the B string. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that 5th note is going to be, set your pinky down here on the 8th fret. So it's similar to that low E string, how we went 5th fret to 8th fret on the low E string. So if you're kind of thinking about that, you know, you've got your 5th fret to 8th fret. All right, then you're going to go 5th fret to 7th fret for the next few strings until you get to that B string. Then you're going to go 5th fret to 8th fret. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, if we set our index finger down here on the 5th fret of the high E, that is also an A note. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then back to the root again. All right, so now continuing the scale up, if you add your pinky here on the 8th fret of the high E, it gives you that 2nd note of the pentatonic. But we're not going to go any higher than that because that's the highest string we got. So we're just going to stop there for now. So what you can do is actually practice this scale as an exercise. So you can just play, it's, you know, again, it's 2 notes per string. And then when you get to the top, come down. And you don't have to play it this fast. You can play it as slow as you need to. There's no rules about how fast you have to play it. But if you keep practicing it, you will be able to play it faster. So the beauty of this is once you learn this, it can be transposed to different places on the neck, okay? So this is kind of the big payoff in this lesson. What I'm telling you right now is the big payoff. Is that you can transpose this anywhere. So say you had a song in the key of you know, G, okay? Say you had like a rock riff that was in the key of G, that was something like So now if I move my index finger and start it down here on the 3rd fret of the low E string and play my pentatonic there, so as you can see, it's useful because it gives you the opportunity to be able to improv something in a different key. So let's say, you know, let's take the key of B, you know, 7th fret. Say you had a rock riff in the key of B. Start your index finger on the 7th fret and play your pentatonic. So that's why you should know a pentatonic scale. It's great for just practicing your dexterity on the guitar, getting your left hand stretched out. It's great for that. It's great for practicing your timing, and it just builds your ear up. So your ear gets stronger just hearing the notes of a scale rather than playing chords all the time. So go ahead and let me know if this lesson helped you. Leave any comments or questions below, and don't forget to hit the subscribe and the like button, and I'll see you on the next video. Hey, thanks for checking out my video. If you're learning a lot from my channel and my videos, please hit the subscribe and the like button below, and leave me a comment on any songs you might want to learn, and I'll see you on the next video.